Hello, welcome to your English 20-1 online anytime course. My name is Denver Powell, and I'm one of the instructors for this course. I want to start first by welcoming you. Welcome to your course, and I also want to say congratulations. Congratulations on taking this first step. I understand that starting something new, like signing up for an online course, it's a big step. It takes a little bit of courage. It takes putting yourself out there. So I sincerely want to say congratulations on getting started, and I hope you're excited to continue in this course. I also want to start with a quick treaty acknowledgement. So wherever you're taking this course, you're taking a course through Norquest College, and Norquest is located on the traditional lands referred to as Treaty 6 territory. And everyone here, all the people here, are beneficiaries of this peace and friendship treaty. So Treaty 6 territory, it encompasses the traditional lands of numerous Western Canadian First Nations, as well as the Métis people, and they've called this area home since time immemorial. Norquest College, we're dedicated to ensuring that the spirit of Treaty 6 is honored and respected. So, let's get into your course. What is online anytime, this thing you've signed up for? So, just to be clear from the start, classes are 100% asynchronous. That means they're not synchronized or synced up with any specific semester or schedule, meaning you can work at your own pace. You have a set amount of time to complete the course, and you can choose, when you work on that lesson, when you work on that assignment, when you hand things in, when you write your exams. So you can work through this course really at your own pace. And during that, even though it's asynchronous, even though you're working at your own pace, you still have people like me, instructors, who are here to give you support, to help you through it, and to offer those supports as needed. We've found that these online asynchronous courses are really good for students who are a little more independent, really motivated to work on their own, but also students who want a little bit of flexibility about when, where, and how long it takes them to complete this course. Another benefit of online anytime is that it can be taken anywhere. Like at no point during this course will you have to come into a campus or check in. You can take this course from anywhere, again, at your own pace. What's it going to look like? Let's go through a quick course overview. This will all come up in the course guide below me. But to quickly go through, you're going to have 6 units: nonfiction, short story, poetry, novel, film, and drama. Right in the middle, you'll have a course midterm, and right at the end, you'll have a final. Now, all of these schedules and exams and everything, again, they'll be covered in the course guide, but that's a kind of a rough overview of how your course will be broken up. How you're going to be graded in this course, there's a few different categories, and they each have different values. For example, during the course, you're going to complete some forms. You'll have an opportunity to share your ideas with other students, share your ideas with the instructor, and those quick forms are worth 5% of your final grade. You'll also complete some unit quizzes. Those will be worth 10% of your final grade, and then you'll complete minor and major assignments. So each unit will have a minor assignment, and they're worth 15% of your course mark. Your major assignments are worth 25% of your course mark. They're worth a little bit more. That midterm halfway through, it'll be worth 15% of your final mark, and your final exam will be worth 30%. Again, all of this is in the course guide. It's available elsewhere, but just kind of keep in mind that these are some of the things you're going to face during the course, and they just keep in mind they all have different values and weightings. Like, for example, that quick form post, it isn't worth as much as that major assignment. Again, all of that will be clarified throughout the course. Now, I do want to give you kind of a quick example of how you work your way through, because you've got into this introduction section. You're watching this first video, and I'll just jump into the course here. So we'll open this first section, which you've already done, this introduction and overview. Here's the video you've clicked on, and right below it is this course guide I've referred to a couple times. I'll quickly click on that, and this is going to take me into the first activity in the course. This is going to give you a little bit of a welcome, explain some more things. I'll just work through some things here. Like, for example, something like the course schedule. I went through a little bit of this already. It'll break it a little bit down for you. It'll give some suggested timelines. As I work through other things, like maybe, grades. I've already talked about grades a little bit. There. So again, some of the things I've talked about is minor assignments, major assignments, the midterm. Again, it'll be more in depth in this course guide. And if you ever need to refer back to this information, it's also in the course guide. Now, right now, I'll move into the final part of this. So let's pretend, I've read through this whole thing. I've made it to the last page. Right now, I have two options of how I continue. So I've read the entire course guide. I want to first point out this up here. This kind of follows you through the entire course. You always have some options. Yours might look a little bit different, but right now I'm in the course guide. If I want to go back one step, I could go back to the introduction and overview. If I want to go back another step, that would take me to the entire English 20-1 course, and I can kind of work my way back, all the way back to my dashboard. My dashboard includes all my classes. I'll just, for now, go back to English 20-1, the main kind of overall section of our course. And you'll notice now, because I went into my course guide and I read my entire course guide, I now have this check mark over here. I finished reading the entire thing. It's given me a check mark to say you've completed reading your course guide, and that's opened up this student services. This wasn't here before. So if I go into student services, it's the next thing I'm supposed to check out. It's got a list of student services, the Center for Growth and Harmony, Indigenous Student Services, lots of different services that are available to you at the college. I've read this. Maybe I'll refer back to this later. Maybe I have some questions about it. Either way, I'm going to click back, English 20-1, click back into the main course. Now you'll notice I finished student services. It got a check mark. I'm going to go into the welcome form. This welcome form, it's your chance to say hello to everyone else in the class. It's your chance to say hello to the instructor. And it's a really nice time to kind of, introduce yourself, start the course. We have a few test questions here, like why did you register? What program are you working towards? Are you going to nursing? Are you going to social work? Are you planning to go to engineering? Where are you going? What's your ultimate goal for education? Maybe you want to talk about a favorite food, a favorite hobby. This is just a really nice way to, introduce yourself, say hi, and really, start the course. Now, I'll show you one other option here. Once I'm here, if I go back, let's say, back to the course, nothing else has showed up, and I don't have that check mark yet. So this is kind of telling me this hasn't been completed. Well, if I go back into the welcome form, obviously I didn't answer the question. I didn't post my reply. So if I click reply right here, I'll reply to this post. Now I have a chance to say hello. I can say a little bit about myself, my education goals, maybe my favorite food. Hint, it's pizza. Once I have finished that, I will post to form. We'll see it show up. There we go. There's my little hello. My rest of my answer would show up there. And at that point, it says it's successfully added. I can edit it if I want to come back in later, but I'll go back and click on back to the main page. The next thing has showed up. The next thing is to select a novel. The novel unit, if you remember, I said the novel unit was one of our unit. It doesn't happen until after the midterm. But this is just to give you a little bit of a chance to think about what you might want to read, maybe to buy the book, to start reading. For example, right now we have Johnny Appleseed, Brother, Life of Pi. You could go in here, for example, go in. There's a little bit of a summary. There's a video explaining. And maybe, I want to choose this novel. Maybe you want to see the other ones first, for example. Maybe I go into the next one here. I read it. Again, I'd probably go back into the next one. Maybe for now, I will go into, let's say this is first one, Johnny Appleseed. Once I've selected the novel I want to read, go back into the main bit of the course. The next thing is a tip. So that showed up. It's checked. I've done that. The novel I need to choose, or I have chosen, is Johnny Appleseed. Then there's the next page is some tips. Tips on maybe how you want to buy, how to work through your novel, and some suggestions just so you're ready for when you get to the novel unit, you have your book, you're ready to read it. Just to show one other way, now that I've finished this, instead of each time using this button here to go back to the course or go back to the unit here, down in the right-hand corner, I could go back in the course to the previous thing, but it's also allowing me now to go to the next thing. So rather than going all the way out. I could also click next. Once I've taken this, now there is no next right now because I haven't done this, but this is the next step. It's an academic integrity pledge. So if I go back into the main course for a second, there's a video explaining that in a bit. But if you notice, I've started to work through all these things. More and more things are showing up. They're getting check marks. I didn't do that academic integrity pledge. You know, you got to watch a video, read some stuff, check a box. But that would, you know, check mark and allow me to move on. As an example, I've got this version of the course here that I've worked a little bit more through. So you see, you know, as I get through more stuff, a second whole section. So rather than the introduction section, at some point, once I've made my way far enough, the assessment section opens up. In here, there's a couple things I need to do. Once I've completed both of them, as you can see in this example, I've completed both of them, a whole nother unit shows up. Again, it's the same thing. I could click on this, get into my unit overview. It'll give me a little bit of a breakdown. Oop. Just because of how it's set up, it's not going to work for me right now. But that would take me into the next part of the unit and allow me to continue. So as you're working through this first introduction and overview, my main suggestion is just make sure to read everything. Try to get to the end, because there's a couple times, for example, like maybe I'm in a lesson or I'm in an activity. If I don't finish it, like when I didn't make that form post, or maybe I don't read the entire course guide, it won't allow you to progress forward. So usually it'll say, here's the welcome form, here's what you need to do. Once you've made that post, it will allow you to move forward. If you're ever unsure about how do I finish this, again, I'd encourage you read everything on the page, read the instructions. It'll help you, tell you how to move forward. But if you're not sure and if it feels like you're stuck, feel free to email your instructor. So that's a little bit of how you navigate the course. It'll progress, you know, a little activity, maybe it's a form, maybe it's an assignment, and you'll work through those, and more lessons and more activities and more units will show up as you work through the course. Finally, my main point in this introduction video is you're not working on this course alone. There's instructors here. I am here. Feel free to reach out. Just to give you a little bit of an idea, like right now in this version of the course, we have lots of instructors here. But for example, if I wanted to reach out to one of these instructors, for Renee, for example, I could click on this little email box right here. If you look on the right-hand side of your course, you might have a different list of instructors. My name's probably there. But you could click this little letter icon, and that would automatically start sending me an email. So again, when you're working in this course, keep in mind you're not on your own. Reach out, email me if you have any questions at all about starting, about working through it, or if you just want to say hi. So, welcome to the course. Good luck working through the rest of this introduction section, starting the nonfiction unit, and nice to meet you.